Hi everyone. This is gonna be a new thing for me. I never talked during these tutorials or whatever because I usually just want to get through it really quickly for you guys because a lot of people talk about, oh, these other tutorials are too slow, or the guy talks too much, or I just want to get to the part where I start learning how to draw. And I understand that, but for this tutorial in particular, I wanted to talk through some of the things I wanted to teach you guys because there's a lot of stuff to go over. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to draw heads in different angles. That was a request by, I forgot the name, but I got that request from someone in my comments. So today I'm going to go through that. Excuse me if I start to ramble or I just don't know English all of a sudden. I never did this. See what I'm talking about? I never did this. I never done this before. So I might stumble over my own words and shit. But anyway, let's get started. So, and excuse the background noise. I fucking whatever. Let's get started. So, what I do when I draw heads and stuff is goddamn throat. When I start to draw, I don't usually do a guide anymore, but since we're just learning, I always start with the cross, or I used to always start with the cross. And this helps a lot because it's very simple. The vertical line right here just shows where the middle of the face is, and this line shows where the eyes would go. And I'm gonna just lower the opacity on this just a little bit. Now, you can choose any types of eyes you want: eyebrows, nose, mouth, whatever. Today I'm just gonna go with the typical manga style that you would usually see in comic books and stuff like that, or manga books. So let me just do that. Just gonna do something pretty simple, nothing too complicated. And I'm not gonna go too much into detail with this, because many of my other tutorials go into some sort of detail, and that's because it's made for that specific purpose. Like if I'm teaching you how to draw ears, then you would go to that video to see how to draw ears. But this is not the video. This is just to get a certain concept down on how you would get started to draw heads. So here I just drew, some typical manga eyes. Nothing too complicated. I'm not gonna shade it in and do all those pretty eyelashes and whatnot. Just showing you what you should have pertaining to this guide in the background. Now, the ears. Or no, actually, let's not start with the ears. Let's go to the nose now. The nose isn't typically too far up, like right here, and it's not typically it's not typically too far down here either, unless you like that long face manga style. I've seen that sometimes. Usually I put mine right right here, not too much down or up. And for the mouth, in manga the mouth is pretty simple. Most of the time it's just a line, or if you want to get cute with it, you can do a little V. Or if you want to get complicated, you can do some lip curvature, the corners of the mouth, and a little line right there. You could do that, but like I said, not going to get too complicated. Let's just do a line. Now, I start with the actual head part. A lot of people think that if you start off with the head, so let's go over here. If you start off with the head, so like let's say you have something like this, and then you just start to put in your chin and whatnot. A lot of people say if you start like this, it's easier. For a lot of people, yeah, because then you can just you put the eyes here if you want, and then the eyebrows and the nose and yeah, whatever. You can do that, but if you're just starting out, I recommend always starting off with a guide, because that's ultimately going to help you out in your final drawing. Your proportions won't be so off, and you'll have a much better time drawing. So now, let's start off with the head. What I do is I start next to the eyes. Some people like starting from the chin. I like starting next to the eyes. And I always add like a little curve. So I start straight and then I curve off right around the nose and the mouth area. So like right around here is where I start to do that. It's not always gonna be perfect, but if you get the shape down enough, you'll be fine. Okay, so then right towards the mouth and the nose area, and you'll start to, ooh shit, that eraser is way too big. I'm also doing this tutorial in a new program. This is called Clip Studio Paint. A lot of professional manga artists and anime studios actually use this program. So when I bought it, I thought I'd rather get used to it than using all the same programs all the time. Alright, so now that we have our face, and like I said, I usually curve off at around the nose and mouth area. You don't want it too flat or too sharp because then it starts looking really weird. And now for the ears don't go too far above the eye line. So like right here, that's you don't want the top of the ear to go past that pretty much, or then it looks weird. Like let's see, if I do my ears like right here, that looks stupid. Don't do that. Just don't go past this eye line, please God. All right, so I'm not gonna do too much complicated things with the ears. I'm just gonna do that, something simple, whatever. And excuse the key typing in the background. This microphone is very sensitive. I don't know how to eliminate background noise. Alright, so now that we did the ears, put little thingies right there. Okay, now that we've done the ears, you're pretty much done here. All you have to worry about now is just the neck. There's a lot of manga styles that do very thin necks or thick necks, like Dragon Ball Z. I just like to, keep it normal, like what you would see in everyday life. People's necks aren't gigantic and they're not super thin. They're just regular anatomical necks. So now, from here you can add all sorts of details. You can add that stereotypical manga blush if you want. Here, let me just finish off the head here. And you want to be careful when you're doing hair and whatnot. When you do hair, it can get kind of complicated sometimes, because a lot of people do their hair like all the way up here, and then they make this crazy, that's not how you actually do hair, but they always do this crazy shit like that. Or I don't know. I don't know. I'm just showing you an example, but you have to be careful with how high the head is. With my style, but I rarely draw manga, but when I do, I make sure that at least some elements pertain to the actual human skull. So you don't see the human skull. Just gonna draw some. Oh my god, that looks stupid. Anyway, you don't see the human skull like this. All right. Right here, this top part, this cannot be too high. If it's too high, then your character's your character's gonna look like an idiot. Literally, it's bad. I've seen a lot of people do it. In some styles, it may look cool, but if you can make it work. Most of the time, it won't work. So let's go back to this. This is gonna be the front view. This is the front view. So like I said, all you gotta do is start off with a cross. That's it. And then the eyes go here. This is the nose, mouth, add the eyebrows, ears to the side, then the head shape. That's it. And don't make the top of the head too high. That's it. Very simple. Most people starting out are gonna have a hard time with the head part. You know, the head shape is very weird. Like in manga, the head shape can vary, and a lot of people do like the very short. Give me a sec. Very short, chibi style. Something like that. Very short chibi style. Or a lot of people do the long style. Something like that. There's many different styles. You just gotta find what you're most comfortable with or what you most like. For me, I just stick to the normal style. I don't really care about all those dynamics and whatnot. You know, this is what I like, so I draw that to the best of my ability. Alright, so now that we're done with the front, let's go ahead. Oh wait, this is what it looks like without the guide, by the way. So if you're drawing on paper, don't make the guide so thick. You know, you're gonna want to erase that later on. Or if you have a light box, you know, that little thing where you put paper above it and then you turn on the light. You guys should know what that is. I shouldn't explain. But if you're drawing on paper on a light box, you can just have a piece of paper, do the guide, and then put another piece of paper on top of it if you want to do that. That's easier, I guess. But for those who are drawing on one piece of paper, just make the guide light. You want to erase it later. So this is what it looks like without the guide. And like I said, you can add all kinds of details if you want. We're not going to get into that. I might do a character development video in the future one day, but not today. Alright, so now that that's done, let's try another one. So this one's going to be the 3/4 view. For the 3/4 view, you're going to have to use the cross again. But the cross is going to be a bit different this time. So when you draw the cross, it's not going to be straight on like this. You're going to curve it just a little bit, depending on where your character's looking. So let's have our guy look to the, what is this, my right? This way. Then you're going to want to establish where your eyes are going to be. Okay? So this character is looking this way, 3/4 view. Let me just write that up here so I don't forget. The 3/4 view can get a bit difficult. Let me lower the opacity here. 3/4 view can be a bit difficult for a lot of people. Sometimes they can't get the nose right, or they can't get the angle of the eyes right, and that's fine. You're gonna have difficulties like that. Let me lower that a little bit more. So what I do is I usually start with the eyes first. Let's do something simple again. You can follow what I'm doing right now if you'd like, or you can just add in your own eye style, whichever you'd like. So I'm going to go with this non-complicated eye style. Usually the eye on the other side of the face, the one that's not showing the ear. So if I put the ear here, then the other eye would be right here. So the far side of the face is where the eye would be just a bit smaller than the eye over here. Just a bit. And depending on how far your character's head is turning, the eye would get smaller and thinner. But in this case, it's just a regular oh, look at me, I'm a cool guy, 3/4 view. So let me just do that. Now for the other eye, make sure you have a good enough space in between the two eyes. I see a lot of people go way too close with their eyes, so it looks very ew, that's disgusting. I don't like that. You know what I mean? That's gross. Make sure there's an equal distance. So let me just draw this other eye. Alright. And I know a lot of people also have problems getting both eyes correct. If you stick with simple shapes, like, you know, just circles and lines, that's all manga eyes are. Circles and lines. And I always like to put a little eye fold like that. It's just, I don't know, it adds a little bit of detail without putting much. Okay, now for the eyebrows, just, you know, something simple, nothing too complicated. For the 3/4 view, on this side, don't have the eyebrow go like that. If it's past the eye, like right around here, if it's past the eye, you're gonna have a very awkward looking, yeah, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a really weird looking brow situation. So try not to have the eyebrow go too far past the eye. I usually just go like that. Don't go past that. Now what I do, now that the eyes are done, I put the ear somewhere around here. And you don't want to make the ear too big unless you have a certain style that you like. I've seen a lot of manga, like the what's that called, chibi. I'm Japanese, I should know that shit. Okay, anyway, the the chibis have like the big ass ears like this, and the little inside of the ears. Sometimes the other ear sticks out too, like that. If you want to do that, deciding on what your style is and you're trying to figure out what you like best, then you can do that, but only if it works. If it looks weird, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Let's stick with the regular style though. So the ear, I've seen a lot of people do this, where they put the ear way too close to the corners of the eye. Anatomically, that's not correct. You want to have the ear just a bit farther away. Okay, and remember about the ear placement. Don't put it too much above the eye line. And when you put the nose, I'm going to put one right here. Nothing too complicated. When you put the nose, you also don't want the ear too low above the nose line. If it's too low, then it's gonna start looking a bit goofy. Okay. So now we can start constructing the face. So for the mouth, I'm just gonna put a little line. Now we can start constructing the face. You can decide to add the ear after you do the face. Most of the time I just guess and put the ear somewhere. I can fix it later if I don't like it. So what a lot of people have problems with is the curve. And what I call the curve, I call this part the curve, the cheek. A lot of people draw it too big or too flat, and they just can't seem to get that curve. What I do to combat that is I just start inching my pen or pencil, and I'll go very slow. And if I don't like it, I can just Control Z or just erase a little bit. And I just keep going. And right here, towards the jawline, a lot of people either go too far up or too low. Just try to make it slightly curve towards the ear, towards the bottom of the ear right here. That's what I do. And it's like that. Slowly inch towards it. There you go. You can go all the way like that. I've seen a lot of people do that. But usually I just put some hair here so I can hide certain parts of the jawline. So now that we're done with the jaw and the curvature of the face, we can, I guess, get to the neck. For the other part here, for this side of the face right here, I've seen many manga artists do just a little bit of the other side of the ear. You can do that. It depends on how far your character's looking. So if my character was looking more towards the left here, or her right, then this ear wouldn't show. And it looks kind of weird here anyway, so I'm not going to even put that. So now we can get started with the neck. Let me just put a little ear detail right here. For the neck, you should try not putting it like past this chin. If you put the neck past the chin, it starts to look a bit awkward. You know what I mean? And realistically, that doesn't happen anyway. Yeah, that just looks really awkward. Even if it's right on the chin. It's ew. So what I recommend is maybe just a little bit underneath the chin. Like that. You can add a bit of a curve to it, or if you're doing weird head angles like that, you can play along with this line. So this line right here kind of will give the character a certain shape. So if I put the line like this and then the other line like this, it looks like the character is kind of leaning over something or looking over something. But if I just, I'm just going to keep it simple. Have the neck like this. The back of the neck, I usually put like right below the ear. Not over here. The neck is way too thick. I see a lot of people do that. I just put it right underneath the ear. Just like that. A nice feminine thin neck. Just like that. Just going to put a little bit of shoulder right here. Nothing too complicated. Now, we can kind of shape out the head here. For males, typically in manga, the curve right here is not that prominent and it's not that soft. And for the chin, here, let me show you. So the brow is sharper. And the curve right here is not that soft. For the chin especially, the chin is not that soft either. And the jawline is usually sharp. I'm just gonna draw a stupid looking guy. Yeah, this is just really quick. Don't laugh at me. Alright. Then the nose is usually sharper too, just like that. Lips are sharper or whatever. Just pretty much everything in general for men, everything is sharper. Unless you're drawing like a little boy, then you can probably use the same facial features as the girl. Alright, so you can get the head shape going. Make sure not to make it too high. And if you guys watched my older videos, emphasis on the older, like old as shit videos, you guys know the inside joke about the alien heads. Don't do this. This looks ridiculous. Believe it or not, I've actually seen some rookie drawers make their back of the heads way too big or way too long. Just, think of an egg. Just like that. Think of an egg. From here, you can do hairstyles. You can do, I don't know, tattoos. You can get to your shading. You can Do the typical bloop, bloop, senpai noticed me, shit like that. You can do all that. Let's get rid of the guide. So this is what it looks like without the guide. From here, you can do all kinds of shit. You can fix the eyebrows so she can look a bit more angry. You can do whatever you want. You can fix the ear placement, add her clothes, whatever you want. This is pretty much how you do the 3/4 view. And remember that this eye is usually a bit smaller and thinner than this eye over here, depending on where your character's head is turned. Alright, so now that the 3/4 view is done, let's move on to the side view. Alright, now the side view is going to be a bit more difficult. A lot of people can't get the nose part or the mouth part right. So, here we go. Usually I start with a circle. Oh my god. Fucking... Okay, that's good enough. Usually I start with a circle. And let's just do the typical manga style again. I put a line just like this. Make it slightly curved, you know, just like a slight curve, not too straight, slight curve. And what I do here is lower the opacity, or if you're drawing on paper, just draw it really light. What I do from here is in the guide, make sure you know where your eye level is. Okay, let's start with the eye. A lot of people do this. The eye is not this far away from the bridge of the nose. So when you add your eyebrows and stuff, it looks very weird. You want to put your eye just shy of the eye right here. Just shy. And, you know, you can put your little eye flap and your eyebrow up here if you'd wish. Now, when you do this, when you put in the ear, you want to make sure you don't put the ear also too close to the front of the face. You want to put it pretty much, so like if you split this circle in half, you want to put it somewhere around here or so. Try not to put it back here either, because then you're fucking up. Anyway, so I'm just gonna put the ear. I'm gonna put the ear here. Not too big, not too small. So for manga, you don't really see a lot of this. So I'm just gonna put like the most realistic nose I can do right now. You don't see a lot of that. You know, you don't see a lot of... Oh my god, this is the best shit I've done in... Okay, anyway. So you don't see a lot of that. You don't see a anatomical nose and the luscious lips. The little jawline... Not the jawline, the cheekbone shits. You know, you don't see a lot of that. It depends on what kind of manga you're reading or... whatever. Not a lot of people get too serious with it. Not the traditional ones anyway. So the manga ones, the actual manga ones, have a bit of a bridge here, and they jut out just like that. It's literally blam. You know, there's no natural curve of the nose. There's no bloop. None of that. It's just a blam. And this is where it gets weird. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. This is where it gets weird. So, Manga Noses... oh my god. Manga Noses don't curve inwards that much. They kind of just do their own little thing. So after you jut out, you just kind of make a small little line like that. You can add a nostril here if you'd like. I've seen some mangas where they don't put a nostril, which is weird. Then right here, this is where you don't get that fancy with it. These are lips. Yeah, that's literally it. This is the lips. So after you come in with the curve of the nose, just blam, little lip, blam. That's it. And make sure that the lips aren't too far out like this. Okay, you don't want to be on the same plane with the nose. That's just not how it works in real life. You kind of want to add an angle. Okay. From here, you can, this is what I usually do. I just put like a little corner of the mouth and a little line to indicate that the mouth is there. So after the lips, you want to go in with the chin. Now the chin, oh god, the chin. I've seen many people do this. And I know when I say I've seen many people, like I'm talking about just, you know, rookie artists, those who haven't looked at an anatomy book yet or have just started to learning how to draw. I'm not talking about professionals. I'm talking about, you know, those people. I've seen a lot of people do this where the chin is way too big. So when the chin is way too big, that means the neck is going to look very small and the whole thing is going to be very awkward. So you want to make sure that the chin does not exceed the nose unless you're doing a certain character or let me do a quick example. Unless you're doing a certain character like a witch, let's see, for example, okay, like a witch, little bumpy chin, ew. Okay, like a witch or something like that. That's fine. That's when you can use the chin past the nose. That's absolutely fine. When you're drawing just a regular person, then I would suggest refraining from doing that. When you go in for the curve of the chin, you don't want to make it too circular, unless you're doing the witch, and you don't want to do it too sharp. You know what I mean? In manga, the chin is usually slightly smoothed or rounded out. It's not too sharp. Okay, now here comes the kind of difficult part. When you do the chin, I've seen a lot of people do this. You know, they just automatically blam. That works in certain situations, but what I do, and what many professionals in manga do, I'm not a professional, by the way, they kind of just do this slightly straight line, just like that. Slightly straight line. And then what they do is start the neck. We're doing a guy, so I'm just going to add like a slight Adam's apple. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ew, that jawline looks too straight. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Trust me. So when you do this, when you add in shadows later on, you're going to do this. Okay, you're going to curve up into the nose. I mean, what the fuck am I saying? Into the ear up here. Then when you establish your shadow, just add a little. When you establish your shadow, it's going to look like that. Now it looks a little better. You can add a little neck muscle right there. So once you've got all this done, you can start with the back of the head now. This is where it gets a bit, well, it's not that hard. So all you gotta do is follow your guide. That you made before. Like I said, don't go too alien with it. Okay. Now, be sure not to make the neck too thick, like that, or like this. I've seen a lot of people do that. The neck, like what is that called? The nape of the neck, the back of the neck, usually starts slightly below the head. Kind of curves like that. There's the neck. And then on guys, it kind of angles down like... I'm not going to get into it, but... this is the base of the neck right here. Slightly below the head. Or like the skull. From here, you're pretty much done. You can add a little shadow under the nose here if you'd like. Just go like that. I don't really like doing that most of the time. You can add hair. You can add... what am I doing? Anyway, you can add this, of course. You can... Let me see. Do like a... I'm just doing whatever right now. Let's do like a little... samurai ponytail thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's do whatever you want, really. Whatever you want. This isn't a hair tutorial, so I'm not gonna even go there. But yeah, that's pretty much what you do. This is what it looks like without the guide. Pretty easy. Not too complicated. Just remember that manga is just a lot of simple shapes, and if you decide to go more detailed, then that's even more simple shapes. Alright, so now that, what are we on? Now that the side view is done, we can go into the 3/4 back view. Write this down so I don't forget. Okay, now, 3/4 back view, what I do is I start with a circle. Come on, pen, come on. That's, well, oh my god. Oh my fuck, okay. Forgive me. Okay, that's good. That is good. Make it a bit smaller. Or no, you know what, that's fine. No, actually I'm gonna make it smaller. There we go. That's fine. Here we go. So, what I do from here, when someone is looking back, like that way, and they're facing the other way, like they're back towards you, you notice in real life, people's ears stick out like that. It can be kind of hard to understand the perspective. So you can, if you want, you can draw a guide in the back like that, you know, but this may be confusing to some people, you know. So the eyes would be right here. This is the back of the head, you know. That can be confusing for some people, so I don't typically do it, but if you want, you can, if you have a good understanding of that. From here, let's lower the opacity of the circle. That's good. That should be good. All right. Now, what I do is I put the ear. See this? I should put this on the guide. I put the ear right around here, near the edge of the circle, not too close. Okay, and now what I do is I establish where the eyes are. Usually when people are looking back, that way. Why do I keep saying looking back? Fucking looking the other way. I put a lash, just like that, just a little lash, and then I kind of establish the brows, the brow area. Okay, you can show a little bit of the eyebrow if you'd like, you know, just like that, and kind of get the top of the head going here, just like that. Now is the hard part. So right about here is where the cheeks would be, but you don't want to go too far with it. Here, let me just fix that part a little bit. You don't want to go too far with it. So if you go too far with the cheeks, that may kind of give your character a weird design, you know? So if your character has a flat face and then you turn him around and now he has curvy cheeks, that's going to be weird. You want to be consistent with your design. So what I do is I slightly curve the cheeks, then I inch my way towards the chin. And what the chin does is it kind of, give me a sec. What the chin does is it kind of just moves its way towards the neck right here. When you put in shadowing, so this is where your jaw is, this line right here. When you put in shadowing, it's going to look like this. So now you can better see where the jawline is and where the actual, what is that, bottom of the chin is. From here, you can establish the neck, so you can do that. Let me just kind of curve it a little bit. There we go. You can do that. Now here is where the back of the head would be. Try not to make it too big. I think I made it a little too big here, but that's okay. Ooh, shit, what was that? Sorry. You can always kind of just ignore your guide. You know, your guide's not always going to be perfect. You don't always have to follow your guide. From here, just establish the back of the head. I gotta stop using the word fucking establish. I'm just gonna ignore my guide here a little bit. Alright, so now this is the back of the head. Right here. And from here, try not to make the neck too thick. Remember what I said about the base of the neck? It's just starting pretty much right below the skull, just like that. I'm gonna put a little bit of clothing to indicate that this character is looking back from us. There we go. Now from here, there we go. From here, you have an option for this part. You have an option. You can slightly show the nose, just slightly, and you can also even slightly show the lips. I've seen some people slightly show like the top of the lip or both lips. Both lips? What? You know, I've seen people do that. That's a choice. I usually just stick with this, or I actually include the nose. So yeah, let's include the nose for now. Let's include the nose for this one. Maybe some lips. Well, that. I don't. Just keep it like that for now, I guess. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to take off the guides. This is what it looks like now. From here, you can add hair. Usually the hairline, so like let's say we were doing a short hair girl. Oh, I should do this on another layer. Let's say we're doing a short-haired girl. So you can pretty much get crazy if you'd like. Just make sure the hair makes sense. There we go. Usually, well, now it's starting to look like a guy. Usually, when you do hair, the way that the hair turns pretty much determines where the head is also turned. So yeah, just make sure everything makes sense, or else your viewers are going to be like, what the hell is this? Okay, so let me just kind of erase the head part and show you what that looks like without the guide. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the back of the head. When you get good at these, you can even, you know, have his head turned slightly more that way or slightly more this way, so you can show like a little bit of the eye and some more of the lips and whatnot. Pretty much do whatever you want. Where am I right now? So this is the 3/4 back view of the head. Not too complicated, but it can get difficult, so just keep practicing. I don't really need to show you guys the back, like the back of the head. You just use it just goes like this. So here's a circle. Let's see, let's make this like the middle of the neck. Or you know what, I guess I should show you guys. So this is gonna be the guide. Whoopsies, did something wrong here. Let's lower the opacity. There's not too much to the back of the head. You have your neck right here. Okay, don't touch the circle, because then it's gonna get kind of weird when you get to the jaw. So here's gonna be the neck. Don't make it too thin, don't make it too thick. And from here, you kind of get a feel for where your character's jawline is, where their chin is, just like that. Right here is gonna be like the hairline and whatnot, just like that. You could add some shadowing here if you'd like. Just make sure it looks correct. From here, the ears don't stick out, you know, unless you have a character with weird alien ears. The ears don't typically stick out. They're kind of shaped like a bowl, like this, kind of curve in on itself. The eyes are most likely over here. This is weird. Like, yeah, just like that. That's the front of the face. I'm not drawing on the back of his head. And let's say you want to put some hair in. Pretty simple, really. Let's show the ears too. So I'm just gonna kind of curve in the hair. Alright, so when you do the hair, you can choose to show the ears or not. It's up to you. I'm gonna make it slightly messy. And let's see what that looks like without the guide. So this would be the back of your character's head. Let's fix that a little bit. So sometimes it would show the curve of the cheeks, or most of the time just the bottom of the jawline. You can get pretty creative with it though. So this is typically what the back of the head looks like. Let's add some clothing for more perspective. So yeah, that's what the back of a head would look like. Not too much to it. Looks like Senpai won't notice us. His back's turned away. Anyway, that's what it would look like. Pretty much. Guide's not that hard. Just a circle and a cross. Just like with everything. Alright, so now let's go back and review what we have learned. So I'm just going to put all these together. Or actually, you know what? What should I do? Okay, I'm going to put all these together. So, what is this? Oh. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. So this is going to be the back of the head. Put that in the middle. Back. Oops. The 3/4 back. That's just the guide. Right, this is the... Oh my god, it's getting really messy. Forgive me. I'm just trying to like get the examples and shit in. Actually, oops. It's gonna do this. Don't like the hair on that one. Okay. So I hope you guys learned something in this tutorial. If you keep practicing, and I know some of you really tired of hearing that, oh, just keep practicing, you keep telling me that, Josephine, but I'll never get better. No, trust me, you will get better. And yeah, I know a lot of artists are like, all you gotta do is practice, all you have to do is practice, blah 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 blah. You're never gonna get better if you don't practice. And they say that a lot because it's true. You won't get better unless you keep doing what you're doing. A lot of the times, you're gonna hit... Give me a sec. You're gonna hit a snag in the road. You're gonna be drawing shit pretty much all day. And you're gonna think, oh, God, why can't I be as good as this person? Or why can't I be as good as this really cool person I found on Interest? Their art is amazing and I want my art to look just like theirs. That's never gonna be the case, really. Your art's gonna be different and you're just gonna have to accept that. You know, when I was younger, when I was in middle school, I always tried to compare myself to other people. I always tried to, here's just an example. I don't know what the fuck is this. I'm just gonna put this here. You shouldn't compare yourself to other people. Your style is gonna be different, and that's the beauty of it. You know, like I don't usually do manga style, and I guess that's why it looks kind of different from the typical shit that you see. But, you know, I kept doing this. You know, I've been drawing for over 13 years. This doesn't happen overnight. So when you look at this tutorial and think, wow, she's so good. I wonder how long it took her to get that good. I'm going to tell you, it didn't take overnight. It didn't take 2 weeks. It took years. Literally years. And most days, you're not going to get what you want. You know, you're going to draw something, or you're going to think about it in the morning, and you're like, oh, I'm going to draw this. It's going to look so cool. She's going to hold a weapon, and I'm going to make her do a backflip. And then when you actually draw it, it's not going to look that good. That's just going to happen. You know, it's just going to happen. But anyway, enough of my rambling. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I know this one was a bit long, but that's because I wanted to actually talk through my methods. Usually I like to just do really fast tutorials because I'm not good at speaking that well. I'm not like Mark Crilly, okay? So pretty much just use guides. You know, when you get better, you're gonna start using less and less guides. You're just gonna already know how to draw something, and that's good. When you get to that point, then you don't need guides any longer. But for those who are just starting out or who are having trouble, the circle and the cross goes a long way. Trust me. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can share this video with your friends who are also fellow artists that are struggling to draw. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the fame. I do this so I can teach fellow artists. You know, I know a lot of people struggle with drawing and stuff, and I know a lot of people are not very comfortable in art classes because their style isn't widely accepted, or they just can't find the right teachers to do what they want to do. So my channel is a safe place. You know, if you need to learn how to draw something, or if you want to learn how to draw something, or you just don't understand how to do a certain pose, or you want to do landscapes and shit, then friggin' ask me. It's not a big deal. Just ask. If you want to leave a request down in the comments, that will be fine. I don't know, somebody requested how to draw arms, I think. Yeah, I'll get to that. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any drawing requests, stuff like that, please leave your statement in the I can't speak English, in the comments. I might have another skit coming up soon, so you guys just sit tight. School's almost over for me, so I'm gonna be putting out a lot more videos soon. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Most of you probably already stopped by now, but thank you. Subscribe, share, like, favorite, do all that shit. Support me, because I love doing this shit. I really do. And you guys are awesome. Thank you, and bye-bye.